Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of... Oops, excuse me. Let's try this again. Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Colossal. This movie stars Anne Hathaway, Jason Sudeikis, Dan Stevens, and Tim Blake Nelson. This is the story of a party girl named Gloria, played by Anne Hathaway, who lives in New York with her boyfriend Dan Stevens, played by Dan Stevens. And she, like I said, like she said, she's an irresponsible party girl, and her boyfriend, is kind of fed up with her, and he actually kicks her out, of their apartment because he's sick of her being irresponsible and not, and partying way too much. Okay, and she's forced to move back to her old hometown and live in her parents' house, where she runs into an old childhood friend played by Jason Sudeikis. Okay, he owns a bar, and he's happy to be reunited with his childhood friend, and he gives her a job working in the bar that he owns and he manages. Okay, and at the same time, her old boyfriend, played by Dan Stevens, is he's calling and checking up on her still, because obviously he still cares, so he's still calling even though he hated that she was this party girl. He's still calling and checking up on her, and of course she finds out during the course of it materializes at a certain time every day, okay, in Korea, a giant monster. And
of course, she's a writer, so she's fascinated with that story, and then she slowly, and then this is not a spoiler because this is in the trailer, she discovers that she's connected to this creature, that whenever, at a certain time every day, if she goes to her childhood park and does anything in that childhood playground, that the creature rises and does those same motions, and of course it totally freaks her out, and she confides in her friend, Jason, childhood friend Jason Sudeikis, about it. And this story is this very weird and very unusual, but also at the same time very entertaining. I found myself constantly wondering what is going to happen next. And the way it plays out is just, again, very interesting and original, which I really appreciate. And a party girl who's trying to get better and trying to restart her life, at the same time. And then when she discovers that she's connected to this creature, of course, it throws her life in a tailspin even more. And Jason Sudeikis, who plays the friend, I have to give credit to Jason Sudeikis in this movie, because his character goes through a lot of emotions, and it doesn't quite turn out the way I think people would think in a traditional movie. I know he's known for mostly for comedy, but he's really good in the dramatic parts as well. And to me, he's the kind of secret MVP of this movie. Jason Sudeikis, because there's a part where, I don't want to spoil, but there's a part in the bar where he goes off, and it's just really good act. The scene is very well acted, and it's uncomfortable, and it's really well done by Jason Sudeikis. And not Jason Sudeikis, Dan Stevens, who plays this the ex-boyfriend, kind of fed up with Gloria character. His role is more supporting. You usually see them here and there, but I think he does a decent job. You got Tim Blake Nelson. He plays one of the friends of Jason Sudeikis' character. One of the guys that hangs out with the bar and hangs out with them, and he's okay in his small part as well. But again, the MVPs to this movie is, to me, Anne Hathaway and Jason. It just makes the movie, and this movie is very, like I said, it's very original and very unusual, but of course entertaining at the same time. And you can't take your eyes off of it. Okay, and it's a really entertaining movie, and I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, because the premise seems sort of silly, but when you think about it, but it plays out very well. Okay, and really props to the special effects, because I know this movie you couldn't have that big a budget, but the special effects in this are really good, considering the money they probably spent on this. Okay, but it's definitely entertaining and definitely worth watching, and definitely an unusual film and an original film, which I really like. So I'm going to give Colossal an 8 out of 10.